I will be discussing how, as a first grade teacher, I can help develop the best practices in literacy education. There are multiple ways to teach literacy education in your classroom, but I will be discussing 5 topics. Through developmental information about children in first grade, how I will foster the development of students' oral language, how I will foster the development of students' listening skills, the physical layout of my classroom, and how I will include families in literacy education. Developmental information. Students in the first grade are normally about 7 years old. They are active in the classroom and are learning how to use their fine motor skills at this age. At this age, they are wanting to learn, and as a teacher, you need to encourage that every single day in your classroom. Intellectually, first graders are developing at high rates at this time in their life. They are asking many questions both in and out of the classroom. At this age, they are developing relationships with their peers. This can be good or bad, and as a teacher, we need to focus them in the right path of having good friendships. Praise and self-evaluation means a lot to first graders. They want to please the people they surround. As a first grader, you have to remember when you got a sticker for something, how happy you were about that, even if it was so small. They are working on their comprehension and literacy fluency as well at this time period. They need hands-on activities to help reach that goal. Development of students' oral language. First thing all teachers need to do when developing students' oral language is putting a positive light on reading. I had multiple teachers who would talk down on certain subjects, and of course, I did not want to learn about them since they clearly did not have a passion for it and did not want to teach it. Students love choices. I think if you let the class decide what book or books they want to read, or if it's individually what each student wants to read, is very important. When a teacher assigns a reading, it should not be structured. What I mean by this is a teacher should say, okay, pick a nonfiction book or pick a fiction book to read today. I will be mentioning this in my physical layout of the classroom section, but I feel like the library should be sectioned into reading levels, and the students should know exactly what level they are on, and make it a point to praise them when they move on to a different level. When I was in school, we did have this system, but I was never aware of where I was on a section. We had it by colors. I never knew. So I think it's important to make sure each student knows exactly what they are doing. Developments of students' listening skills. From day one, students need to understand why it is important to listen in and out of your classroom. Set the rules and post them. Make sure it is visible for them in the classroom so they can read it each and every day. Also, talk to them about what it means to be a good listener, because at this age, they might not exactly know what that means. At this age group, it is so important to enforce listening skills in the classroom. Ways to do this is to make a signal and they mirror that symbol to show the classroom needs to be quiet so that the teacher can speak. I work at a preschool and my sign is to pat my shoulders, then my stomach, then my knees. As students recognize that I'm doing these actions, they do them with me and then they start to listen. This is very important. I think that since they are just now developing their listening skills, As a first grade teacher, you can only give them a couple of tasks, one, two, or three tasks at a time. It is so important not to overwhelm students at this age because they might mix up the instructions or do them in the wrong order. In our Education 378 class, we have talked a lot about shared readings. I think this is a great way to encourage listening skills in the classroom. Remind them about the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, and that this means that if they are reading, they would not want they would want everyone to listen to them. So they need to be mindful of that. My favorite part, the physical layout of the classroom. The classroom layout at this age is so important. Students at this age get very distracted, so it is very important to make sure that the room is not too cluttered and is very organized. At this grade level, visuals are also extremely important. Make sure the room is full of color and make sure that there's lots of pictures and diagrams visible to the students. In first grade, normally students are given jobs each week. I think there should be a spot for these posted where students can read them and also see other kids' names up on the board as well. We talked about in class another great tool for reading and writing fluency is to have a word wall. This is a very important factor in the classroom. This is a way for students to recognize words as the year goes on. I liked the idea of putting the kids' faces also on there with their names so that other students can learn how to spell and memorize their other classmates' names. Another big idea of first grade classrooms, and really any classroom for that matter, is the positions of the desk. I think that the desks definitely should be grouped together when they're in first grade. This helps them with communication skills and just working with their peers. But each month or each semester, the seating needs to be adjusted or arranged in a different manner. Students also need to be notified that if they are misbehaving, they will be moved. Also, accommodations. Make sure that the students know that they can come to you if they don't feel comfortable in their seat so that they know that you are open or flexible with the movement of their seating arrangement. The most important thing in a classroom, rules. The classroom rules also need to be posted so that the students will be able to see them every single day and be reminded each day what is expected of them. For literacy education, I think a reading center is also very important in every grade level. I would separate different types of books by reading level or make sections of fiction and nonfiction books so that students will be aware of different types of books. Including families in literacy education. I think this is the biggest thing that helps students with literacy development. Students look up to their families for moral support, but also they want to do what their older members of the family are doing. While they are not at school, they are with their families. Parent and guardians should definitely be included in a child's learning. Ways that you can include families in the literacy education are making assignments including the whole family. Making the assignments learn more about the student's family, whether it be an interview or making a family tree. Students will learn more about their family. Another big thing that I always loved as a child was when parents or grandparents would come visit the classrooms and read to the class. This lets the students know that reading is important, even when you're older. It is important to show the parents what the students are doing in the classroom as well. Communication is a big key to this. Write notes home, whether it's good or bad. Also, have a website for the students and parents to go to view what the child has been working on. Also post assignments in the hallway so that parents can view what the child's been working on and their progress throughout the year. Parents and Grandparents Day should also be a major aspect in the child's academic year. This is a set day or days where students get to show off what they have been working on and another way to get the families involved in the students' literacy development. I remember these were huge days at my elementary school, and every kid was so proud to show off what they have been working on. I think this is a great thing, and every classroom needs to have this. These are just some topics a first grade teacher can use to improve literacy education in the classroom. Thank you for listening.